Hey, what's up? It is me, Jordan Freed, with Reena Ezra, and we're doing The Leftover Chef with Aleko. We're at his house and we're gonna cook him a meal. He doesn't even know that we're supposed to be here.
Or we're gonna kidnap him. Which
Maybe.
one?
Who knows? I feel like the potatoes are kind of staring me down. So, spices, yeah. What do you got up here? What are your go-to spices? What does Aleko cook with?
Salt, pepper, olive oil.
What do we got here? What's this?
That's chipotle chili pepper,
paprika, yummy.
garlic powder. I alternate either parsley or oregano.
Oh, cool. You got breadcrumbs? Do you got
Breadcrumbs.
deep breadcrumbs or light breadcrumbs? Okay, we're light with the breadcrumbs. I'll take your breadcrumbs.
A bunch of other stuff, cinnamon, onion powder, cumin.
Yeah, that's the good stuff.
Ram masala, basil leaves, crushed red pepper. Yeah.
Sounds pretty good.
Yes, you are a graphic designer,
I am a
right?
graphic
and
designer.
he has a wicked collection of coats, or at least the ones I've seen. You're very
Do you want me to model them?
internet. Oh my god. You're in for a treat. We're about to have a fashion show by none other than Aleko.
Oh, wow.
Also, I've never heard anyone else have the name Aleko, so I don't even need his last name, even though I also love your last name. Can you say your full name? Do you have a middle name?
I have 3.
Wait, you have 3 middle names.
My full name is Alexandra Dimitri Stamati Christopher Giotrakis. I go by Aleko. So this is my everyday coat. It's the middle of January. I look like this because I just worked out. But this is just like a general winter coat. I love it. It's very nice and warm. It's blue. I like solid colors for coats. This is my nice coat that I save for dates and fancy occasions. I like to wear a little pin. Right now it is the Pride Infinity pin that I got from the Whitney Museum. I like it because I feel like I'm about to walk through a Victorian setting. It just makes me feel very it's a very period piece. This is my Wolverine jacket from the movie.
Wait, do your impression.
It's gonna be such cognitive dissonance to watch an Alan Cumming impression in a Wolverine Hugh Jackman jacket. But let's try. Oh no, you're amazing. Great to know times. Those are words that get me right into the act. I can't do it now.
You just did it. You just did it.
Oh my god. Amazing. I don't really have the accent, but it's fine.
You know what I want? I want an Aleko doll that looks just like Aleko with one of his fancy coats, preferably the olive green one, the second one he just showed you. And just like pull the string and then that's what it sounds like, his impersonation.
This is my yellow raincoat. I've had this for a couple of years. I love it. I wanted something very bright because I like to look like a cartoon character. Just another rain jacket. It's green. Yeah, it was like $20, so it's like, yeah, why not? I like it. I think it looks cool. It makes me feel like a photographer, which I am a photographer, so why not?
Also, if you notice, every single coat Aleko owns is always in pristine condition. He takes such good care of them.
So this is just a windbreaker. It's red and bright colors. I like bright colors.
Okay, what's the difference between a windbreaker and a rain jacket?
A rain jacket's supposed to be more waterproof. A windbreaker is just a jacket to wear.
It breaks when?
Because I've had this coat since the 6th grade. I'm 27 now, so you do the math. It doesn't quite fit, but you don't really tell.
But it's close. Yeah,
Yeah.
wow.
It was an adult small when I got it, which was too big, like 4 sizes too big. If you try to button it, it looks like I'm doing an impression of somebody else. Tiny. I can't wear like a sweater with this.
Yeah. Just your bare chest.
Just my bare chest.
You rip it open, like up to the rest.
But I've had this since the 6th grade. I love it. I've got it cleaned. I've also had to get it repaired because I slashed it one time. If you can tell, it's like little tiny stitches. Just because I loved it so much.
How and when did you slash it?
I was at work a couple months ago, and I had to load something to a car, and a metal rod slashed it, and I was devastated.
When you get angry, Aleko, not that I've really ever seen it because he is so composed, but do you curse? Do you shout? Do you just like, just like get quiet? What are you like when you're angry?
When I'm angry, it depends on what's making me angry. If it's something that's like physical labor and I'm just getting annoyed that it's not working, then it's all like little tiny miniature curses. It's just like, fuck you. Just like, motherfucker. I was at work one time and I was outside installing a banner, so I had to put these T-posts onto the ground. But I had to remove some that were already on the ground because they were just in the way. They were not coming out of the ground, and I didn't have a shovel. Nobody was going to give me a shovel to dig it out. So I had to use a screwdriver to make a hole. This from my fingers to my elbow.
How long did that take you?
Oh, like 3 hours.
Oh my goodness.
And I was just cursing the whole time.
Oh no.
And I walked into a building and they're like, "You curse," because they're like, "We heard you." Like, there's someone was saying to somebody else inside, "There's this guy outside who's just saying motherfucker all the time." If I'm like emotionally responsive to something, then I freak out, and I get like very big, and I get very intense, and it's like very pointed, just like.
We're gonna do a little production that Jordan Freed likes to call his layered potatoes. The way that this is gonna work is I'm going to make some potatoes, and then I'm gonna layer them with some other good stuff. What that good stuff is, we don't know yet. Yeah. You guys wanna get a look at them? Hey, we don't care. Everything tastes good. Everything is beautiful. Everyone is beautiful. I also have some spinach. I also have some protein in the form of hummus. Aleko does not like hummus, but he's going to bear with us for the vegans tonight because he got it for us originally.
For over about almost a year now.
Yeah.
April would be a year.
God, where'd the time go? It's insane. We are both in a troupe called the Hammerheads.
I have been doing improv for over 3 years now.
Oh, okay.
I got into improv because I listened to Tina Fey's audiobook so many times in college. I was like determined I was going to go to the second city in Chicago, and I was going to take classes and work crappy day jobs and work as a graphic designer there, and I would do that and I'd become an improviser that way. Because the way that she talked about it was this great community of people who just, I felt like, oh, that's my people. I never felt like I had people. I was like, oh, that's gonna be my people. Mm-hmm. And I never moved to Chicago, I moved to Boston. And I was on a train It's a very long story, a very like, stupid long story. And I was on a train, and there was an advertisement for the Improv Asylum in Boston, and its like slogan was like, "Are you lonely?" I was like, "Yes." I was living alone. I was living in a boarding house alone in Boston.
And it's called the Improv Asylum.
It's called the Improv
Oh
Asylum.
my god, wow.
They recently...
Did they attract a lot of weirdos?
Like people like what we see in
Weirdos.
improv.
Yeah.
Weirdos.
Right. How long were you in Boston?
I was there for a little over 6 months.
Okay.
I had a hard time living there. I didn't like being so far away from my family. I didn't like being so far away from everybody that I knew. And it was just, I was glad I didn't move out to Chicago. That would have been so much worse.
Yeah.
But maybe I would have loved it because I would have had a community of improvisers.
It's very different. It's a very different community.
So I moved back home. I got a job at West Point, and my boss suggested that I take classes at the Magnet Theater in New York because he knew I liked comedy. He knew I did stand-up sometimes.
And you've done shows in New York.
I've done shows in New York. Yep.
What was the title of one of the?
I was in a run of shows called Spoilers, directed by Alex Kornfeld. You could look him up. He's a great guy, great comedian. He does a lot of stuff at the Magnet Theater, and it was an hour-long show where we would get a suggestion of a book that you might have read recently, and then we do an hour-long improvised show based on the suggestion and like a couple of questions, just so we know a little bit about the book, and then we make up the book for an hour. So Reena comes like a little bit shorter than my shoulder.
Just rub it in.
I'm 5'10", although some nurses have said 5'11".
Whatever it is, it's tall to me.
When I first met Reena, I felt like, because I've been improvising for a while at that point, and I like over 100, a lot of different people that I'd improvised with already, and I was always more concerned with how the other person was feeling than being present and in the moment with like my character choices. And when I improvised with you for the first time, I was like able to put all of that aside, and I was like, oh, this is what people mean when they say they have good chemistry with someone. Aww. And I was like, oh, and you're one of my favorite people to improvise with.
Oh my god, Aleko, stop!
I know my body language says like, I'm like pulling away, but that's just because I'm on camera and I'm generally uncomfortable on camera.
When you meet other improvisers, like how do you fit with each other and what is the chemistry, and that's what you're trying to explore. But yeah, just very quickly we became very comfortable on stage with each other.
Also, Reena doesn't mind being picked up.
Oh my god, it's worked so many times. Because I don't mind being picked up. I mean, because sometimes that's what you have to give the people when you're in a small compact package. And we had like a mannequin scene, a scene where Heather and Heidi, two other improvisers at Rhino, and I were mannequins, and we're trying to escape the like hunting goods store or something. We're trying to escape the store, and at the very end, Aleko is a customer that just comes up and picks me up as like buys the mannequin, me, and then just like goes off, and I'm just like frozen in time. Or, just like my posture, just like that. And it was just very, very well timed. You had to be there. If you didn't find what I just said funny right now, that's not my problem, that's yours. Who was like the family member that cooked for you growing up?
Oh, my mom. My mom is Italian, my dad is Greek. My mom, her side of the family has been here for over 100 years. My dad immigrated to the United States when he was 17. After his mom died, and his dad was a cruise ship performer as a trumpet player, so no one was in the house. He was like, I'm just gonna move to America.
Wow.
Would
you ever, side question, because I've considered, but would you ever be like an improv, I know they only pull from Second City, but an improv performer, like on a cruise ship? Yeah, would you ever do that?
From what I've heard of the stories of people on cruise ships, yes, I would, just for the experience. To a generally hostile crowd of people who don't know that improvisers or what they do. Yeah. That'd be fun to just sink into. My dream was to open for Margaret Cho on a gay cruise. But if I could do any show, that would be the show that I'd love to do.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Back to food. Right, so your mom cooked for you, she's Italian. So you had both Greek and Italian food, though, obviously,
Yes.
and you've been to Greece
I have been.
quite a few times.
A couple of times.
Okay.
I have not been since I was 14.
Ah.
I went for my cousin's
wow.
wedding. But before that, I had gone maybe once every like 2 or 3 summers.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
I went a few years ago. Yeah, my sister and I finally went, and I just love it. I absolutely love that place. It looks beautiful, and the culture and everything. Do you have a preference when it comes to Italian or Greek food? Is there one you do like better than the other?
I think I just cook more Italian food just because our culture is more, it's just more widespread.
Yeah.
But if I were to classify my cooking, I would actually say it's contradictory, more Greek. Because it's more oregano, it's more olive oil, it's more just the way that I feta cheese, spinach, all that stuff.
Yeah, right. It's how you accent it.
Yeah.
And the spices will definitely make like every cultural food different. We're all working
Yeah.
with the same base, but it's like what you do with it that makes it, its own style. What are your cheat foods?
Oh, cookies, anything sweet.
You got a sweet tooth.
Oh, I have them.
Wait,
really good
what?
sweet
You
tooth.
can't just say any cookies. Like what are we talking? Chips Ahoy? Are we talking Oreos? Are we talking homemade cookies? Are we talking?
Oh, I used to make homemade cookies a lot more. I make if I make a dessert, it'll be brownies.
Sure, that'll be exactly the same.
Dessert,
I'll play
sweets, sugar, zits, blemishes, scars, weight gain.
4. Tell me what.
In the future, I'm talking
first.
There is a cat, and that cat is orange and poor.
So what we have here are some fried potatoes with some hummus, very spicy hummus, and spinach.
Very good.
Well, this has been another edition of the Leftover Chef.
Thank you, Aleko,
Thank you
for
hosting
joining
us,
us
Aleko.
and just letting us use your beautiful kitchen.
Yes, it's my
Thank you for
mom's.
letting us raid your fridge.
Thanks for the chit in the chat.
It was very good.
Thank you for the chat and the chit. And the chin wags.
In the fashion